No rest for the wicked out in the Championship as Blackburn Rovers return to league action this midweek to take on Birmingham at St Andrews. We're going to talk about that and much more next. That's right, folks, back once again with another match preview. This time looking forward to Blackburn Rovers' next league match, hopefully 3 points up against Birmingham, and we'll get to that in just 1 second. If you're new to the channel, smash your subscribe button to get you bang up to date with all things Championship related, Blackburn Rovers related, world football related, all here. Roski. Now, before we get into the thick of things and talk about this match in so much detail, you won't believe it, got a bit of admin for you folks. I do have a Patreon page. It is out there and it is screaming out for your attention. It is something I'm trying to strive towards to take this channel to another level, boys and girls. I do have one Patreon out there. He's all lonely and down the dumps and he needs a bit of company. So if you are interested in helping me push this channel to another level, just check out the old description. There's a link to the old to the Patreon page yourself, or you can just type it in right now. It's right on the screen, patreon.com/Roverseas. There are 3 tiers of support out in the Patreon, ranging from just $1 all the way up to Moneybags Man, $10 if you want to explore those perks and privileges and tiers of support. Just head over to the link. Anyway, folks, let's get cracking and take a little look at the match in a bit more detail, shall we? It does take place right here at St Andrews, that's right, in Birmingham. And of course, Birmingham are managed by, what's his chops? Pep Clotet, that's right, ex-Oxford manager, part-time assistant manager, that sort of stuff. But he's now at the helm of Birmingham City. He's been there since the summer, I believe. The match will take place on the 22nd of October at St Andrews. We'll talk about that. The danger man for me is Dan Crowley, summer pickup from the Dutch leagues. He's come in, he's done bits on the right-hand side of midfield, and he was a very, very astute pickup by Birmingham. Ex-Arsenal man, youngster. The record between these two sides going back over the years, 125 times they've duked it out. 46 wins for Birmingham, 46 wins for Rovers, and 33 draws apiece. Does it smell a bit fishy to me? It does to me. Last time out, Birmingham finished 17th in the Championship. They're hoping to do much better this season. The previous 2 encounters, again, 2 draws. Last time out in St Andrews was a 2-2 draw, and the last time that we met over at Ewood Park was a 2-2 draw. We'll take a look at those names and numbers in just a second in the form book. This season, obviously, duke it out this Tuesday, and then on Boxing Day, we duke it out at Ewood Park. That's a big game to look forward to. Anyway, folks, let's get going and take a look at this match in a bit more detail. First and foremost, we're going to take a look at the teams, or who I expect to turn out for both Birmingham and Rovers on Tuesday. So let's take a look at any injuries or suspensions heading into the match. Both teams have no suspensions on the books as it stands, but a couple of injuries are prohibiting both sides playing their strongest sides. Chuck Kaete is actually back in training, but I don't think he's going to be in contention this week. I'm sure he'll be eased back into the thick of things. Same could be said by Makio Kefton-Balt. He's out for a long, long time into 2020 for him. Jefferson Montero, the same deal. He's out for a few weeks. Jonathan Grounds and Connell Truman also out with a day-to-day sort of situation. As for Rovers, quite a few injuries across the board. Dominic Samuel's just come back. He's already out already for an unknown amount of time. Same can be said for Daniel Butterworth, a young striker. Gregory Cunningham looks to be out for a fair bit, probably deep into 2020 as well. Joe Grayson pulled him a hamstring injury quite recently over the international break. Sam Hart as well, we don't know about him. Ben Brereton and Darrell Lenihan also out for mid-November, early December. So not looking good injury-wise for Rovers. We actually got a bit of a threadbare squad going into defence. Quick look at the lineups for me. I expect camp between the sticks for Birmingham. Patterson, Dean, Roberts and Colin at right back. Villababa left side of midfield. Sunjic as well into midfield we go. Davis and Crowley. There is the danger man. And me up top, Jakowicz and Alvaro. I believe that's his name. It might be under a different name, but Alvaro is the one that popped up on the old foothead. As for Rovers, this is how I would line up. Mowbray has his own ways. I'd go one between the sticks. Downing at left back, Williams, Adebaro and Nyambe at right back. The reason I'm going for that, I think having a actual left-sided player on the left side of the fence will be much more beneficial. And I know Downing has explored left wing back over the years. He played there for Middlesbrough last season on a couple of occasions. I think it would just, we don't want to remove, don't want to take Downing out of the action. I think he has to play. He's very creative, and he can float between left back and maybe into midfield should we need to explore that. Moving forward, I've got Travis. Obviously, no all guns blazing Travis, who gives 100% each time he puts on the shirt. And then I put Bennett back into a position which he's familiar with last season for Rovers, alongside him in the sort of defensive midfield slot. Moving forward, I think Dak has to start, of course, Holtby on the right-hand side, and then we've got Armstrong on the left. And I'm giving Big DG the run out as well up top. And I think it's quite creative sort of trio or quartet, should I say. And it's a very flexible 11 as well. Like I said, Bennett can flip-flop with Downing. Armstrong can flip-flop with Gallagher. And you know what? A lot of flip-flopping can be happening along the lines. Moving forward, so I look at the statistics of the two sides here. The top goal scorers currently for Birmingham. Djukanovic currently tops the charts with 3 goals. Drew Bellingham, a youngster who just misses out on my 11. 2 goals so far. Gardner's got 1. And Jimenez, which is Alvaro, I believe, with the other goal. As for discipline, Sujinic has 5 yellows. Jimenez has 4. Davis has 3. And Gardner has 2. No red cards so far for both sides, Birmingham and Rovers. As for the top goal scorers for Rovers, Dak leads the way with 6 goals. Armstrong got 3. Williams has got 2. And Downing has 1. As for discipline, Lennon has 5 yellows. Bennett has 4. Cunningham has 4. And Travis has 4. Let's take a look back at the last 5 results for the two sides. Kick it off with Birmingham. Last time out, they did lose to Leeds at Ellen Road. It was a 1-0 loss. Prior to that, they did beat Middlesbrough at St Andrews. It was a 2-1 win back on the Friday, the 4th of October. Before that, did lose to Wigan Athletic at the DW. That was on Tuesday, the 1st of October. They also lost to Derby at Pride Park 3-2. And they also lost to Preston 1-0 at St Andrews. So not the greatest form coming into this, but they have won more recent than Rovers. As for Rovers, we come into this with a bit of a shit show here. In fact, it's not too indifferent to Birmingham's form here. We've actually drawn 2 of the past 5 games, won 1 of them and lost 2 of them. Those defeats come to QPR back in the 5th of October and Luton, but we did draw against Forest, we drew against Huddersfield, and we did pick up a win against Reading now. Let's take a look at the next 5 fixtures moving forward. Obviously the game this Tuesday, but after that Birmingham will take on Luton at St Andrews as well. Then they take on Cardiff at wherever they play. I can't remember where they play. Cardiff City Stadium, I'm going to say that. That's the 2nd of November. Then they take on Fulham back in the mid-November or early November. That's Saturday the 9th. Then they wrap it up after the international break, taking on Huddersfield at the Kirk Lees. As for Rovers, we have a bit of a Northwest Crunch Clash this Saturday. I'll be live for the watch along on that one, bad boys. Make sure you come by and say hello. Links to my Twitch platform is in the old descriptions. I'll be live for that one. We'll not be doing a watch along for this game because it's midweek. I've got work, but I will still be keeping up to date with the games. Don't you worry, folks. Moving forward, Saturday, 2nd of November, we take on Sheffield Wednesday back at Ewood Park. There's Leeds at Ellen Road on the 9th of November. Then after the international break, we take on Barnsley back at Rovers. Let's take a look at the recent records between these two sides in all competitions and on all venues. It is pretty even Stevens. 1 win for Birmingham, 1 win for Rovers, 4 draws along the way. In fact, you're going to go all the way back to 2016 for the last victory between either side. And that was actually at St James's, St Andrews. It was a 1-0 win for Birmingham. Stephen Gleeson with the goal. Meanwhile, the same season, or was it a season prior? Season prior, we did beat them back at Ewood Park 2-0. Tony Watt, the new game streamer. Tony Watt is always on. He's always on doing FIFA and stuff like that. I think he's actually playing out in Bulgaria these days. And Big DG scoring along the way. In fact, Danny Graham likes to score against these bad boys. He's scored in 1, 2, 3, 4 of the past 5 games between these two sides. So I'd say stick him up there, Tony. Stick him on there and see what goes on. Let's take a look at the last 6 games between these two sides over at St Andrews. It's still pretty even, Stevens. 1 win for Birmingham, 1 win for Rovers, and 4 draws along the way. The last time that Rovers did pick up the victory was back in 2014. Yep, that's right. Rudy Gestedt. There was a hat-trick, fantastic on that day. 4-2 final score. Nikola Zigic among the scorers as well for Birmingham. Prior to that, it was a draw, 1-1 back in 2013 in the Championship as well. So it's one of them. It's one of them that could go either way. And if you haven't seen my prediction show already, I've gone for a draw between these two sides. I think it's just going to be one of them. An away point for Rovers would be okay, but it's not pushing us in the right direction at all. We need to get some points on the board and we need to get them fast. Let's take a look at our strengths and our weaknesses moving forward to kick off. Birmingham seem to prefer attacking set pieces as well as aerial duels. They're very dominant from that, and they also like to steal the ball from opposition. And once they get their noses in front, they tend tend to not give it up. Meanwhile, their weakness is they're not good at putting the ball in the back of the net, avoiding the offside, defending counter-attacks, which we are very good at, keeping possession of the ball and avoiding individual errors. They like to take some long shots to attack down the middle as well as the right-hand side. Very aggressive, and they seem to stick to a consistent 11. As for Rovers, we'd like to create long shot opportunities, creating chances using through balls, and we like to defend set pieces. We're pretty good at those. We're also pretty decent, pretty woeful against defending against skillful players and avoiding the offside trap. We like to control the game in our opposition half, attack through the middle, as well as outplaying out wide. We're a possession kind of football kind of team. We do rotate the 11 because Moby doesn't really know what he's doing up top, especially, and opponents play aggressively against us. The match forecast says Blackburn Rovers will score as a result of a through ball, will dominate possession, and will be shown a number of high casts for Birmingham. Moving forward, this is where all the action's been taking place for both Rovers and Birmingham. Let's take a look on the left-hand side first. Birmingham, our goal, or their goal, should I say, usually come from open play, 4 from set pieces, and 1 from an attacking point of view. I should have really looked at their away or their against stats here. I don't think I brought that graphic up. As for the position, they seem to the majority of their shots come down the middle. 74% of all shots coming down the middle. As for their shots, the majority of those coming, as I said, coming down the middle. 54% of all shots coming in inside the 18-yard box, 36 from outside the 18-yard box, and 10 in the 5-yard box, or 6-yard box, should I say. As for Rovers, we score the majority of our goals, 10 of them from open play, 2 from set pieces, 2 penalties. Most recently, I think Dak scored 1 against QPR and 1 big fat OG. As for our positional stats, we seem to have 68% of all our shots coming down the middle, 19% from the left-hand side, which is usually where Armstrong is stuck out there. As for whereabouts in the vicinity, 60% of all of our shots take place in the 18-yard box, 35 from outside the box, and just 5 inside the 6-yarder. Moving forward, as for our passes, or as for Birmingham's passes, 282%, or 282 of their passes, that's 76% of all their passes have been short passes, 19 are long passes, and just 5% are crosses. Whereas Rovers, on the flip side, 5% of our crosses equals 22 of our total passes on average. I'm trying to get my head around these stats here. So on average, we throw in 376 short passes, 77 long passes, and 22 crosses. Birmingham, on the flip side, 282 on average, 282 passes per game. Our short passes, 71 passes are long passes, and 17 are crosses. Whew! As for positional play, Birmingham prefer to go down the right-hand side, and that's where Crowley dominates, so we got to keep tabs on him. And as for the amount of possession, it's mostly kept within the middle third. 45% of their possession is kept in the middle third, just 30 in the opposition end. As for Rovers, we kind of split up a little bit, both down the left-hand side and the right-hand side, with the middle not so much. And as for whereabouts the ball is kept, is majority in the middle third, just like Birmingham, but more evenly spread out, 39% down the middle, 33 towards the opposition end. Goodness gracious, there's a lot of numbers to digest. But let's take a look at what else is going to go on this midweek. QPR down at Loftus Road or wherever they play, taking on Reading on Tuesday. Sheffield Wednesday taking on a revamped Stoke. I think it's back-to-back wins for them. Turned a massive hoodoo. Our next opponents after this one, but Preston taking on Leeds at Deepdale. So back-to-back home games for them. Swansea against Brentford as well on Tuesday. But the game of the weekend, really, of the week, is Birmingham against Blackburn at St Andrews. Then it's Millwall against Cardiff and West Brom against Barnsley on Tuesday night. Forest against Hull are on Wednesday, as it is Derby, Wigan, Fulham, Luton, Bristol, Charlton, and Huddersfield, Middlesbrough. Slam-packed schedule booking this week as well as the weekend. This is what the table looks like after Sunday's game. West Brom currently lead the way, 25 points on the board. Forest slipped up with a defeat. Leeds are in second, 23 points. Swansea third. Forest are in fourth. QPR fifth, and North End are in sixth. Barnsley 24th, 23rd, Stoke, and 22nd are Huddersfield. So if the table was to end today, those three would be going down. As for today, we're talking about Rovers and Birmingham. Currently sit 14th in the table. Birmingham are doing a little bit better themselves. They come into this in 12th. But their form looks a little bit ropey. We'll talk more about the form book in just a second. Quick look at the top goal scorers for you right here, right now. Mitrovic currently leads the way alongside Watkins, actually, 8 goals apiece. Grant Thanks again for watching. Please like, share, and most importantly, hit the subscribe button to keep you bang up to date with all things Blackburn Rovers related, Championship related, football related. We've got it all covered right under one roof. And while I still have you, please be sure to check out some of the old videos scattered along here. I hope.